Welcome, everyone, to 24/7 Sports. I am Tom Loy alongside the 105 guys. We've got Director of Scouting Andrew Ivins and National Analyst Cooper Patagna. Signing day is just around the corner, so we're looking at 2025 recruiting classes all across the country and bringing fans a look at their soon-to-be signees. We're going to hit a few superlatives to clearly state our take on many of these nationally known prospects. Today, we're looking at LSU. The Tigers have the number 4 recruiting class overall in 2025, and there are 27 commits set to play for head coach Brian Kelly. Andrew, we will start with you. Early draft pick potential. We're looking at a guy with elite traits, but also somebody who can see himself taken early in the NFL draft.
It's going to be Bryce Underwood, our number 1 ranked player in the class of 2025. Bryce, as of this recording, 48-2. As a starting quarterback up in Michigan. This is one of the youngest prospects in the cycle. And I think with him, it's just the blend of the size, arm talent, and athleticism. As a senior, he has really shown the ability to beat defenses with his legs. You go on his 24/7 sports profile, you're going to see that player comp Vince Young. And that is certainly fits the bill in terms of just how big those guys are and what they're able to do. And the scary thing is Bryce Underwood looks much more advanced as a passer at this stage than Vince Young, who made magic years and years ago in the BCS national title game. I think Bryce Underwood, the other thing that really stands out about him, that field command, what he's been able to do. You look at the past few recruiting cycles and then recruiting classes, the quarterbacks at the top of the board. I mean, Bryce Underwood is right there in terms of just how comfortable he is. And I think he's a guy that could play relatively early.
For the sake of, I think, not talking about the same person, I'm going to go with a different guy. I'm going to go with Cade Phillips. There's another corner on the board that I'm sure we're going to talk about here soon. But Cade Phillips is a guy that shot up our board dramatically over the last couple of weeks. And this is a guy that we really like. We'll get to see at the All-American Bowl, but over 6 foot feet, kind of fits the prototypical cornerback that Corey Raymond and Blake Baker want in that defense. Long, silky, smoother, 3-phase player out of high school as well. Love the ball skills. I think this guy keeps getting better and better. 24-4 in the long jump, 21-3-2 in the 200 meters. So he can roll a little bit. I think once he gets to school, starts to put a little weight on the bone, I think this guy's going to be a player. I think he can get on the field early. I think LSU's secondary is in a place right now, whether it's DJ Pickett, Cade Phillips, Aiden Anding, any one of these guys are going to be able to step in and potentially have an early impact because they need him to. But Cade Phillips is kind of the apple of our eye right now of a guy that's really kind of has a rocket strapped to his back and surging up our board. And I think he's going to carry that momentum into college.
Big fan of Cade Phillips, but I'm going to have to go with Bryce Underwood on this one. I think we all 3 of us would. It's a slam dunk. He's elite, special talent, excited about him. But I will say one note, just keep an eye on this. I know we were talking about when we recorded this. Right now, he's an LSU commit. There is some smoke to Michigan right now. We'll see what happens moving forward. Day 1 impact. We got a guy who'll see the field early and often in year 1. Cooper, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think going down the line here, you can go a lot of different ways. I think for me, it's probably Harlem Barry, the running back out of St. Martin's in New Orleans. You know, we talked about this running game on CBS Sports Network on Monday and how they have to get more out of it. I don't think it's a lack of talent. It's what they need to do on the offensive line. But having a guy like Harlem Barry gives you a little bit different of a skill set than what they have in Caden Durham, what they have in Josh Williams, what they have in Caleb Jackson. All 3 of those guys, north-south runners that like to get downhill in a hurry. Harlem Barry, more of a make-you-miss guy. Drew compares him to LaShawn McCoy. I think that's a really good comp. There's been some comparisons out to Reggie Bush. And the thing about that is very elusive in space. I think he's a game breaker, a guy that you have to respect to find a way to get multiple touches in a game. So whether that's in the return game, whether that's as a receiver out of the backfield, I think Harlem Barry is going to be one of those guys. Joe Sloan, that offense under Brian Kelly, they're going to have to find a way to get involved early because of the potential of what he can do to break a game open.
I'm going to go with Underwood here, and I know it's kind of an easy one, but if you look at the SEC, we're recording this in advance of Week 10, 16 teams in the league, right? 8 of them have started 2 different quarterbacks this season. 6 of that is because of injury. You're only as good as your number 2 quarterback. We don't know what's going to happen with Garrett Nussmeier, right? Continues to get mentioned with the NFL draft. Is he going to test the NFL waters? Is he going to leave or is he going to come back? I don't think it really matters. I think Underwood is going to play as a true freshman. And you can look at what Florida did this season with Graham Mertz. He returns. DJ Lagway, our number 1 ranked quarterback in 2024. He gets more and more run, and eventually he takes over for Mertz, who has a season-ending injury. So I think Underwood would make a ton of sense. Again, just how he is playing right now. It looks like he's playing on rookie mode. Everyone else is playing on Heisman difficulty. If we're talking about the EA Sports 2025 college football game, and really just his ability to run the football too. I think they can get creative with some packages. For another name out there, Cooper mentioned the 2 corners, Cade Phillips, DJ Pickett. I think Aiden Anding has a chance as well. Number 18 ranked cornerback for us. This guy is really good at maintaining phase. Not the biggest individual, but you turn on the tape, see what he's been able to do down there in the boot, what we saw in the camp circuit, 7-on-7 circuit. LSU still needs help in that secondary. Keep an eye on Aiden Anding. He's a guy that knows how to cover, sticky like a glove.
I'm going with running back Harlem Barry. First time I saw him was in Vegas. He won the fastest man competition, just blew me away. He just looked different in a field loaded with some of the best players in the entire country. Boomer bust, an intriguing talent who could outperform their ranking, potentially underperform. Kind of looked at it as a mystery. Ivans, who do you got, man?
Linebacker Jaden Breaker, new to the top 247 on our midseason update, now to the number 11 ranked linebacker. Green numbers across the board, 6'0", He's got a 6'10" wingspan, 214 pounds, 91.2 explosion score, according to our friends at Next Gen Prospects. 92 speed score. I mean, this guy can run and chase. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Georgia true freshman linebacker Chris Cole, who is playing for the Bulldogs here in 2024. Jaden Breaker, to me, he's got the athletic juice, the instincts, his ability to read and react. I think that's going to dictate his success on Saturdays and potentially Sundays. But Blake Baker, an aggressive defense. We've seen what Whit Weeks is able to do. I think Jaden Breaker is another guy where he can rush the passer, he can drop back into coverage, and more importantly, he can find his run fits.
I'm going to go with DJ Pickett, and here's the reason why. He's 6'4", 180 pounds, and we haven't seen a 6'4" corner taken in the first round of the NFL draft. That is not a bad thing. DJ Pickett, unique athlete, 33-inch arms, 80-inch wingspan, can do a lot of different things. Obviously a two-way player, really kind of more comfortable with the athlete on offense than we are on defense. I think he's got a ways to go. Is he going to be a guy that's going to be able to play early? We'll see. A super dynamic, unique, rare athlete, all those type of things. But what's he going to look like at the corner position? Does he end up at safety? All those things are worth kind of monitoring at the next level. Tom, I know you're probably going to put out there that Miami's kind of circling the wagons right now as well for DJ Pickett. But certainly a guy that we have circled inside the top 32. But one of those guys that it's quite honestly a little bit of a case study for us.
The two that I was kind of looking at, one was DJ Pickett. Haven't seen enough in the secondary from him, but he's obviously a freaky athlete. The other one is receiver Derek Meadows. Kind of fits the same mold. Haven't seen a ton of production from him, but you love the upside. It's there. Boomer bust. He fits that mold. And yes, like you said, DJ Pickett, Miami, a few others, trying to circle the wagons, as you said. We'll see if he sticks with LSU. Let's move on to Diamond in the Rough, a 3-star prospect who could surprise some people at the next level, potentially emerge as a high-level talent, or even find himself drafted. Cooper, who do you got, man?
I like Mike Tyler, the tight end. This is a guy that we've been evaluating for quite some time. And you think about the body types that LSU has in that tight end room. Originally they brought in Trey'Dez Green to be a tight end. He switched to a receiver. Kamarian Pimpton is another guy, 6'6", tall drink of water, basketball background. Well, what happens after Mason Taylor's gone? And we don't know whether he's leaving yet. But you're talking about a guy that leads all statistical categories for tight ends in LSU program history. Mike Tyler is a very similar body type that can give you some inline blocking ability, can give you some value as a receiver out of the backfield as well. I think it was really, really important for LSU, Slade Nagel, tight end coach there, to add a guy like this, pretty similar composition to a guy like Mason Taylor. You need that guy in your room, and I think that's really important. So Mike Tyler would be my pick.
I'm going to go with safety Jace Thomas, our number 41 ranked safety in the class. Dealing with an injury, senior season cut short, but I think with Blake Baker's defense and that star role, Jace Thomas fits it to a T. He's a two-way player on Friday nights, gets it done at quarterback, but him on defense, his ability to strike and provide run support while still dropping back into coverage, very instinctual. I think he's a guy to keep an eye on. Tons of growth potential there. We saw Blake Baker lean on these type of individuals when he was at Miami. He did the same thing at Missouri. Trying to find those guys at LSU. Keep an eye on Jace Thomas.
For me, it's safety, linebacker. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to play at the next level. CJ Jim Coley, right here in Nashville. Big fan of him. He impresses every time I see him. We'll see where he lines up, but a lot to like there. That wraps it up. As I said before, we're going to hit a ton of schools leading up to December's early signing period. For Andrew Ivins and Cooper Patagna, I am Tom Loy. As always, stay locked to 247sports.com.